Hello divas, dudes, and dolls, I'm Caricature, and welcome back to my fine, fresh, and fierce little review show, Very Slay, where we go over each and every one of the main stage runway looks of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16. We are down to single digits, diva, and I could not be more excited about it. Because once we get down to that kind of a number, these episodes fly by in the editing room, and they are so much easier on me. This week was a dance-themed runway where all of the queens had to present a look inspired by a various style of dance, which I thought was a kind of an interesting idea. I don't really know what I would have done. I probably would have done like a Viennese waltz or something that's like elegant that I could have been in a gown for. I about broke my brain trying to come up with an idea. Let's just get the housekeeping out of the way then. For anybody new here, if I think a look is just fine, passable, it gets the job done, but is nothing revolutionary, we give it an okay. If I love a look for any reason, I give it a slay. And if I don't like a look, then we give it a nay. And now that y'all know how the show works, let's get on with it and get to steppin'. Starting us off this week, we have Q, who is presenting the robot. It's very 90s, 2000s, which I thought was very fun. The bodysuit is not my favorite. The color palette is really cute, and it's really well detailed. I do think it looks just a smidge tacky, but it's drag, it's going to be. For the little blue bit that juts out, I think that's very cute. For me, it's okay. Up next is Tsunami Muse presenting Salsa. And I know she is a salsa dancer, so she knows the steps, she knows the moves, and this is a very classic salsa outfit. I loved how this looks on her. The way this moves is just really elegant, really beautiful. I love her makeup. I love this low pony on her. I think it takes a special girl to be able to pull off a low pony like that's this skinny, and she does it really, really well. This is just really strong look for her, but I also don't think it is anything to write home about in terms of silhouette. It's nothing exciting. I'm also going to give this an okay. Up next, we have Nymphia Wind presenting Japanese Buto, which I know those dances are all about. Weird facial expressions really emoting through the face and really simple, like natural nude tones in the costuming to really accentuate what's going on through the performance. The way she delivers this is fantastic, but I mean, come on, this headpiece. The way it hooks around, so good. All of the different textural elements in the skirt and the sleeves, like she looks like a pile of foliage that's so glamorous and moves just really interestingly down the runway. I love these shoes, the way it's treated. This is one of my favorite things that she has presented so far on this runway and in this competition. I legitimately do not think there's a single thing you could do to improve this look. For me, this is a slay. Next, we have Dawn giving us Polka, which is very fun. It's a cute look. It's giving very Midsommar, which is fun. The hair, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I do like the dress. I like how it moves. I do think the skirt silhouette is a little awkward in terms of length. I think it's a strong look for her, but I also don't particularly love it, so I'm also just going to give this an okay. Up next, we have Safia Crystal, who's giving us Majorette, and specifically Drag You Majorette, which I guess this is the week of kiss-up looks because we have it in UK versus the world, which you'll hear me talk a little bit more about later on in the week. But we have it this week too, where she's playing into knowing the series and like paying reverence to the franchise that came out of Drag Race and the people at the top of Drag Race, which is never a bad idea on this show. Now, I don't like purple and orange together as a color combo like this. It just looks really sporty in a way that I'm not crazy about. The one-legged pant, I do really like. I love the silhouette on this, and the way that the fringe hits, it moves in a really fun and interesting way. I think the best part of this is how she performed it, but I can't stand these little character shoes. It's fine. I think her hair looks incredible. Her makeup looks really good as always. And I mean, and she's just doing all the things with the kicks and the jumps and all that jazz. I don't know, something about it just doesn't hit for me. Even though the performance was great, I think the look itself could have been a little bit better. It could have had maybe one element less to streamline it just a smidge more. But at the same time, I'm torn on it because it moves really well on stage, and for the type of performance she was doing, it works. So while it's not my personal taste, really, I think I'm still gonna give it a slay. Next, we have Plasma, who quite literally tap dances her way down the runway this week, which, honestly, she should just get a slay for that, because it was so well done. She really is the Rachel Berry of drag, and I thought you couldn't beat Jan at being the Rachel Berry of drag. I would give her a slay alone for the dancing element, but the look itself, I'm not really crazy about. It's just like a short little dance costume. I think I'm still gonna give her a slay because the performance was so good that it balanced out how much the look was just kind of milquetoast. Next, we have Morphe and Love Dion, who's giving us a little flamenco moment. And I swear, she has got some cat DNA in her somewhere. Maybe we need to check on her after that Catwoman runway she did, because my goodness, was this look pussy. I love the hair on this. I love the cut of this. And I think my favorite part of it was that it was very much a flamenco silhouette. At the same time, it felt like it was merged with her aesthetic as an artist. And I think that's the real challenge with something like this, where you have a specific theme, is bringing the reference point, bringing the tribute element of it into your world, into your vision, and I think she did that really successfully. For me, this is a slay. Up next is Maya Iman LePage, who's doing 90s hip hop. It is such a 90s look, like it's so dated. That's my biggest issue with it. I think it's so dated to the point that like it kind of comes around back to being camp, but it is particularly not my personal style. I will say, I do really enjoy these sleeves and this mullet on her. And I like the color palette of this. I think the color accents are done really well. To me, she kind of looks like she should be dancing in the background of the opening to Living Single, which is very fun, and I'm very here for that vibe. I think she has the same issue that Plasma does, where the look itself is just fine, it's just okay, but the performance of it really sells it. So I'm gonna give her a slay for it overall. And lastly, we have Plain Jane giving us Latin ballroom. Now, I know she is a ballroom dancer, so this is very much her wheelhouse. I have to say, this is my favorite look she's worn so far this season. Everything about this is correct. The sculpted hair is so ballroom, it's so perfect. She looks like she's right off the set of Dancing with the Stars. I love this outfit. It's just really well done. And I think of all the things we've seen that have had fringe on them across this season, the implementation of the fringe on her skirt is probably the best that we've seen of it. So for me, this is a slay. And now that we have danced right on through all of those looks, it's time to determine our slay of the day, my favorite look of the week, which will go into a post-crowning ranking video to determine my slay of the season, my favorite look across every episode, which I will be doing a full proper illustration of. And I mean, once again, there was no other choice this week. Can there be like two girls fighting it out for the top spot in the look department for once? Because almost every week for me, at least with US Drag Race, there's been a clear runaway. And most of the time, it's between 2 or 3 people. For me, once again, returning to reclaim her Slay of the Day title, it's Nymphia. Come on. Is there any other look this week that even came close to this? No, there's not. And if you think there is, what is wrong with you? Or there were a few looks that I thought were just fine looks on their own. I think Jane was the only other look that outside of Nymphia's I genuinely really loved. The performances of the other looks that I thought were like just kind of okay on their own brought them up to being of strong presentation. I don't know, comparatively speaking to some of the other weeks we've had in the competition, like last week in particular, where I liked just about everybody's runway a lot, this was just kind of a comparatively bland runway. But next week we have a neo-goth design challenge, which I suppose I kind of dressed prematurely for. And because it's a design challenge, we know we're gonna get something great out of Q and something great out of Nymphia, so I'm excited to see what that is going to be. Until then, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of the things. Ring that little notification bell so that way you can be among the first to know when each and every new episode of Very Slay drops here on the YouTube and anything else that comes along the way. That is going to be a wrap for me this week. This was a pretty fast episode, but in all honesty, I didn't have much to say about these looks. So this is a very rapid fire week. As these seasons are coming to a close or winding down, with less and less queens, I am looking to do some Very Slay episodes for other things. So I don't know what we are going to do necessarily. I would love to do Very Slay for video game characters. I think that would be really fun. But also, Very Slay for like really stupid stuff. I think it would be fun. I think it would be very goofy to just do like a little season of whatever. Make our own little competition out of it, if you will. But that is going to be it for me. Before I exit stage left today, I want you to all go out there and make sure that you stay kind, stay queer, and be sure that your day is very slay.